Hello, and pardon my voice if it sounds a little stuffed up, fighting a cold. This video is to show you how to log into your new My Writing Network site. And this is the address of my site up here. As you can see, test23, it's just a test website that I set up for myself. And I am going to visit the login link. And I just want to explain, if you're new to WordPress, the idea of logging into a website might seem a little strange to you. But that's the way WordPress and other content management systems or CMSs work. You have a front end, which is what we're seeing now, and then you have a back end, which is where you can actually tinker with your website, make new posts, add pictures, put up new pages, and do all the stuff that you do with a website. So the first little trick I'm going to teach you here is how to remember the login to your site. And it's always going to be just the name of your site and a slash and then wp-admin or wp-login.php. Whoops. But I normally use wp admin. And when you hit that, it's going to take you to the login screen. And you can ignore this login with Facebook unless you want to log in with Facebook. That's perfectly fine. My username in this case is test23, and the password would have been emailed to you when you signed up. Okay? So paste it there. Don't try, by the way, to actually type out your password. You should always copy and paste it. And I use a password management system called LastPass. I recommend that you get yourself one. They're very cheap, and they make your life a lot easier. I don't use the Remember Me feature, but if you choose to, what that means is that your username and password will be stored in your browser so that you don't have to keep remembering your password or copying and pasting it in. The downside to that is that anybody else who happens to sit down at your computer while you're logged in has access to your website. So it's your decision. It's up to you. I click log in, and this is going to take me to the dashboard. So let me walk you around the dashboard a little bit. First of all, actually, when you first enter your site, what you're going to see is called Easy Mode. And Easy Mode is controlled up here. It's called Easy Blogging Mode, and that's installed for people who are not used to WordPress and would prefer not to have to deal with all this stuff, which can look, I guess it's not that different, but it can look kind of intimidating at first. It's up to you. I'm going to deactivate Easy Mode right now, but I'll just show you that when you come in, you're going to see all these functions here. These are the same functions you see when you are out of Easy Mode. They just look a little neater, I guess. This is how I'm accustomed to dealing with the WordPress website. So this is how I'm going to show you. We'll call this advanced mode, okay? So we're in the dashboard. And up here, I'm going to show you a few things, okay? These are all links up here that you can use if you need to. This is information about WordPress itself, which is the content management system that My Writing Network uses. This is a list of all my sites in this user account. I only have one, test23, and this will bring me to various parts of my site. This will actually take me to the front page of my site, which is also called test23, somewhat confusingly. These are any comments I may have awaiting moderation. I don't have any comments at the moment. Maybe I should zoom in here a little bit. This here is where I can make a new post. I can add new media. I can add a new page, and I can add a new user if I want to. I'm going to talk in another video about the difference between posts and pages, and I'm going to talk about adding media and adding users. And then follow is simply me following my own blog, which is kind of silly actually, but you can do it if you want to. And then you get a little notification here. So I'm going to actually unfollow and go back home. Now, when you log into your dashboard, you're going to get little messages up here. These are tips from me explaining various things about your site. This one actually talks about easy and advanced mode here. You can hide these tips if you want. They may reappear the next time you log in, but they're there for your benefit. This message you can disregard. You won't be seeing this on your site. Here is a little post-it note that will have your name there. And these are some quick links to some handy sites that are good for writers. AuthorLink is run by a friend of mine named Doris Booth. Writers Workshop in the UK is run by a friend of mine named Harry Bingham. Kindle Direct is run by a friend of mine named Jeff Bezos. Actually, he's not a friend of mine. Reddit.com, the writers subreddit is a great place to visit sometimes. And this is a book that I wrote called Writing for First-Time Novelists. I won't get into any of these right now, but they're there if you want them. If you don't want to see that, just click that little arrow and it goes away, and the same is true of all these, okay? Now, Jetpack. You can ignore this if you want to. You have the ability to connect to your own Jetpack account through WordPress.com. Now, let me explain that. Jetpack is a free plugin that WordPress makes and offers to all its users that will show you certain statistics about your site. It can also protect your site. It can compress images on your site to make it faster. It's really a great thing. You do not need it. It is totally optional. But if you want to use it, you can create a free WordPress.com account by going to WordPress.com, and you can connect Jetpack to that account. And of course, if you already have a Jetpack account or a WordPress.com account, you can simply connect to it by clicking this here. I'm not going to do that right now. This is just at a glance about your site. Basic sites, the free versions of my Writing Network sites, get 100 megabytes of space on the server each. There will be upgrades available in the near future to larger amounts than that. I don't know what they're going to be, but I think 100 megabytes is going to be plenty for your purposes for now. So I'll just minimize that. This just shows recent activity on your site. This is all default stuff. And then here I've got links to, I've got feeds to the most recent Reddit.com books discussion, the 5 most recent threads. I've got links to another site called McSweeney's Internet Tendency, which is a very funny sort of literary comedy site, highly recommended if you need a good laugh. And then my blog of Cromulent Informations, which is my blog where I talk about stuff that's going on with the Writing Network. And these are links to blog posts that I wrote. So if you click on that, the forums are up, for example, is my most recent post just explaining that the forums are up, hence the title. You can read it here. We're on the admin page right now. All we got to do is hit the back arrow to go back to your dashboard. Okay? That's probably enough for this little video. I will make another one very shortly that will explain everything over here. So that will be part 2 of the dashboard.